college life is different from each of us, as it is with life in general. We traverse our own paths at our own pace, as we should, of course. And in times where we meet each other in the intersections of U turns, it is integral that we understand where we are coming from. Traversing college life at our own pace is also just as important. This is the highlight of today's episode. We will converse in depth with our fellow Timatian scientists who are taking their own pace in this roller coaster ride of our undergraduate studies. I hope after this you get to learn how important it is to have inclusive relationships in our second home, that is the College of Science. So grab your coffee, turn your diffusers on, or if you're doing some of your academic requirements, homework, soup, just get it done if you really have to. And just join us with today's meaningful conversation. What is up, College of Science? I hope you're all doing fine despite being so busy with your academics. And I hope you're finding time to relax, stretch, drink water. Mental health is always just important as your physical health. So take a breather and enjoy the things that you like. And I am Justine Bautista, the Secretary of the College of Science Student Council.
I see ang taas na energy mo dun, Justin, ah. So, hello, I'm also Justin. I'm Justin Cortes, the Executive Director for Silence of the College of Science Student Council. So, I guess if it's your first time hearing me or seeing me, guys, I'm usually behind the camera working behind the scenes for most of the events of College of Science. Pero, to all our viewers out there, hello, good morning, afternoon, evening, or kung saan ka man ngayon. Whether nag-aaral ka or nag-chill ka lang, hello. Let me remind you na, even this time, it's kind of hard for us. Uh, please do know that all of your struggles will be worth it in the long run.
Yeah, that's right. That's totally right. And I feel like, since you mentioned that, Kuya Justin, you're also our tech team, well, I'm more on the paper side of the council. I check documents every day, I send emails every day, and, well, it's hard, I guess, well, it is hard with all those documents, but, we make it through every day. So, yeah, so Kuya Justin, I'm also Justin, and we are your J squared for tonight. And we're back again with another episode of Patnubay at Gabay. I hope you guys were able to catch your first episode, How to 20 something on college and adult life. So yun nga no, ang dami kong nakuhang mga tips at checks dun sa episode na yon. Talagang very relatable kasi yun nga, we're in our 20s and we're supposed to find ourselves at this time. We're supposed to discover ourselves at this time, at this age. So, we're at that adult stage of our life, getting to know things. Even though pandemic, medyo actually nakaka-restrict, no? Pero I hope we're still able to build on those relationships.
So sobrang true. So I guess if you guys haven't seen the first episode, you should see it in the playlist sa YouTube, or if you're listening on your podcast app, it should be the first episode on the podcast naman. Pero anyway, not anyway, this is a different episode naman. So this episode we're going to tackle SWIS ins and out. So I guess to start things off, Justin, what is SWIS?
Well, SWIS actually stands for Students with Irregular Schedules. They can be either those students who shifted from one program to another or those students who are taking another subject. But that's not based by the given timeline by UST. Yeah.
Thank you, Justin. So that was, I would say, a good description of it naman. So now we will have a glimpse of life of the SWIS students, and of course, I guess the processes behind it.
Yes naman. So now let's call on for our guest for today, Miss Patricia Palaganas, Miss Paula Roldan, and Miss Sairille Maneja.
Ayan. So hello to all of you. Thank you for graciously joining us in this podcast and willing to talk. So before we get into the nitty-gritty of our topics, I guess we'll start off with a little introduction and kamusta kayo?
So I'm gonna go first na lang. Hello everyone, I am Patricia Joyce C. Palaganas. You can call me Isha, and I'm from 1M Bio 3. I'm a first year student from medical biology, and I just wanna then say thank you and for inviting us to have her to ask her thoughts and to let us be heard po yung mga sentiments namin about being Swiss students po.
Hi everyone, my name is Paula Charmaine Roldan and I'm from 3B5, 3 Psychology 5, and ayon, like what Patricia said, we are so grateful na in-invite nyo kami to talk about our life as a Swiss student.
So thank you, Isha and Paula. I am Sairille Maneja, but people call me S. And I'm from BS Chemistry. And I'm really thankful for this opportunity that you guys have given us to share our stories as a Swiss student.
Yeah, that's really great to know. And thank you so much for introducing yourselves as well. And thank you for accepting our invitation tonight. And it's really a great, it's a privilege to have you guys here. So let's now get into our topic for today. So I'll be asking my first question. But before I do that, I just want to reiterate that this is a safe space for you to share your experiences, share your thoughts, and share your feelings with us. Yeah, with that, to our guests, can I ask if it's all right? When was and if you remember the exact moment when you found out na, magiging sis ako. So, what was the first thought that came into your mind?
Ako, the time na na-realize ko na magiging Swiss ako was a pretty emotional moment for me. It was, I think, that time, wow, kinakabahan ako just thinking about it. Um, After yata yun ng botany class ko, tapos, I was feeling so, uh, sad and beaten up for some reason. I mean, nung time kasi na yun kaka-start pa din lang ng pandemic, so it was all falling apart for me. And then, after ng class ka that time, I was alone din sa bahay nun because it was only the two of us, my mom and I. And, nakaupo lang ako sa dining area na. And then, I was telling myself, kaya pa ba? And um and then it's like your head is like beating yourself up na hindi mo na kaya. And it's a trigger warning. I want to say lang na nung time na yon it was really dark for me na I was saying goodbye na to school and to like having a purpose in general. Kasi the reason why I had to stop studying that time last year was because ayun nga, I had to prioritize my mental health. I was going through a lot of anxiety and depression, and I was very suicidal at the time. And the online classes were too overwhelming for me, and like hindi ako makapag-communicate with my classmates. So, that time, I was already reaching out actually to CSSC at the time. So, very thankful ako na very sumasagot si Kuya Dean actually. Hindi ko pa alam kung vice president po siya last year nung time na yun. Pero, um, I was asking kung ano kaya yung mga possible na mga pwede kong gawin na pwede ba akong tumigil. And then, he suggested na mag-LOA ako. And then, um, at the time parang mare-realize mo sa sarili mo na, "Oh, crap, is this, um, an indication na hindi 'to para sa'kin?" Na parang, "You're not meant for this," na parang "You're too weak for this." Parang gano'n yung nasa utak ko at that time. Pero, I guess, um, yung gano'n na mga moments kinakailangan din talaga minsan. So yun, I had to take a step back. And then after like a week din lang after that, I said goodbye na rin muna for like I thought I was going to be gone for like one sem lang. Pero um I had to extend kasi hindi pa gano'n ka-okay yung naging um situation ko. And ayun, that was I guess my moment of uh na-realize ko na, magiging SWIS student ako. A time na I was emotionally weak, but I guess it had to happen somehow. Ayun po.
Ako naman, nalaman ko siya. Na-feel ko na magiging Swiss ako nung finals ng first year. Sabi ko, ay, ito na yun. Nung nagbibigay na ng grade, ito na yun. And then finally, nandun na. Binigay na yung grade, nilagay na yung, parang sinulat na nila yung grade mo sa isang paper lang yan. Nung natatandaan ko, isang paper pa lang yan kasi like, like, hindi pa siya final. Pero, kumbaga yung raw, parang hindi na rin naman nalalayo dun yung transmuted grade, diba? So, nilagay dun yung sa paper, yung grade. And then, nung nakita ko yon wala na. Like, super blanco na ako. And then, nakatitig lang ako sa, nakatitig lang ako sa friend ko. Tapos, parang, sorry. And then, parang nagkatitigan lang kami ng friend ko. And then, ayun na. Yun na, doon na namin na feel na, okay, ito na yun. Ito na yung parang, ito na yung end ng, ano namin, ng journey namin dito sa part na to. Tapos, yung, meron din hindi namin makakalimutan na nasabihan din kami ng mga prof na maybe you're not for this program, ganyan. Syempre, masakit yun for you. Pero, ayun, dun na rin talaga namin na parang mas lalo namin na feel na okay, ito na yun. Pero, after nun, naging mahirap yung journey namin after nung mga ilang months kasi marami ka nang kailangan gawin, marami ka nang kailangan asikasuhin after that. Pero thank God kasi hindi kami nag-stop doon nung na-feel namin at na-realize namin na talagang ito na yung uulit ka ulit. Pero hindi kami nag-stop doon. Talagang thank God kasi nagkaroon kami ng strength na lumaban. Ayun.
As for me, merong dalawang indication for me nung na parang na-feel ko na magiging Swiss ako. First was no, it was college was not as fun as I imagined it would be. Like nung dumating na dun sa part na yun, no, first year ako. No, umpisa syempre, you get to know a lot of people, you learn a lot of new things, you adjust and everything. Pero habang tumatagal, parang natanong ko bigla sa sarili ko na, why is it like naiiwan ako na lahat ng students around me have already adjusted and I am still adjusting. And doon nag-start na parang kino-compare ko yung parang how comfortable other students are from how I feel sa yun, sa pagiging comfortable as a first year student and from a small populated school. So ayun, parang dun nag-start na nahihirapan na ako. And then dun din nagsimula na parang I don't know what to do anymore. Nung parang nagpa-pile up siya na nagpa-pile up. To the point na ito na yung second indication na officially magiging sis ako was when during the Christmas break. Kasi during nung first year namin, nung batch ko, supposed to be my batch, was December 24, ni-release December 24, ni-release exactly ang grades na sa portal. And we all thought na lalabas siya ng 23, gano'n. Para may mampalubag loob para bago magpasko, gano'n. But it went out ng 24. And I wasn't in the Philippines that time. Tas I was with my mom abroad. So, ang mas scary pa dun, I'm a very people person, like mas super close ako with my friends. So, parang yun talaga ang aking comfort zone. So, nung nasa abroad ako, I was like, OMG, who am I gonna be with kapag nalaman ko yung result and everything. So, since magkaiba yung oras dito at saka doon, nalaman ko na siya morning na ng December 24. Tas dito gabi pa. So, ayun, sabi ko, or gabi din, gano'n. Basta, 13 hours ahead or late ko nalaman. So, I was really, really scared to the point na I gave my credentials para sa portal ko to one of my most trusted friend sa, UST na ka-batch ko din, si Mikey. Binigay ko sa kanya yung credentials ko kasi hindi ko kayang makita yung grades ko. Kasi a part of me already know what is it. But I just can't see it kasi alam ko it will break me. And it did. So, after that, nung nalaman niya na and everything, I told her na, I don't wanna know it yet. Give me a day to think about it, to be prepared for it. And then sabi niya, okay, I will let you think about it kung kailan mo gusto mo siyang malaman and kung paano mo siya gustong malaman. Kung gusto niya, kung ako ba magbubukas ng portal ko or sasabihin niya ba kung pass or fail lang or kung may bagsak or wala. And then we ended up na sasabihin niya sa akin yung result. And then, tada! That happened. So, I decided to know it ng Christmas Day. And to tell it to my mom on Christmas Day. So, it's a bittersweet Christmas for me. But, I'm a firm believer na things happen and every single thing talaga happens for the greater good. So, yeah, that was the time na nalaman ko na SWIS ako, na magiging SWIS ako. And from that day on, from that Christmas onwards, I strategically used it to be my advantage. And strategically thought of the ways that I can do or I can strategically think of ways na mapapadali yung proseso ng pagiging SWIS ko kasi I've never been a SWIS. Siyempre, first time yun kasi college. So, ayun. Yun yung ginawa ko. And yun din yung naramdaman ko. It wasn't so great and it's really bad and sad. But, yeah, it was Christmas after all. Merry Christmas. So, yeah.
Ayun, thank you guys for sharing that. Very brave of you guys to share us these moments na parang, I know na medyo vulnerable siya, pero I guess thank you for sharing. And I guess, yun nga, as sabi ni S, ako din, honestly, I thought din na parang, oh, yeah, college isn't as fun as you thought it would be. Kasi they try to make it seem so fun sa movies. Well, that was a lie. But, ayun, same din sa'yo. And I remember that day na sinasabi mong before Christmas lumabas yung dates. Ako personally, all my friends were like, uy, labas na grades, kamusta sa'yo? I was like, I'm gonna check it after Christmas. Ayoko ma-spoil yung Christmas ko. Parang ganun. And then my parents were asking na din, na parang, uy, kamusta grades mo? Ano lumabas? And ako was like, ayoko pa i-check. Let's wait till Christmas. Para, ayoko naman ma-down yung season ng Christmas Day sa amin. So, ayun, I guess for me naman talaga. And, I guess, yun, yeah. And, sa, you know that, I guess we're here naman if you guys need support naman. And, I wish I could send you guys hugs talaga. Sending virtual hugs na lang to you guys. Yeah. Justin?
It's not an easy thing, learning something or yun nga, knowing about that. It's when you think about turning points in your life that will really change your life, and maybe for some things talaga na like that, it's very hard, and you like maybe what Ate S said, as a people person, you need someone as well who will you maybe talk about it. If you want to keep it to yourself, that's okay. You come out when you want to, just talk about it when you want to. uh, but maybe you would also need someone who is going through the same thing as you, so that's okay as well. And maybe you want to talk about it with that person. Maybe if it's not that same person who's going through the same thing as you, I also siguro maybe it's important that there's someone there for you, and hopefully you've also found that person who's there for you as well. So with that, I also want to say that I'm also here to listen to whatever you want to share about, and that was also very brave, very very brave for all of you to share all that. And it's difficult to learn about those things when uh, yun nga, I mentioned nga na it's turning point in your life, at sabi nga na they make college fun siguro sa movies, but yeah, yung adjustments, yung talagang when I was in first year na, it's a big overwhelming thing, high school to college, and they don't really give you a guide on it. You just have to get through it. You just have to experience it. And talagang, alam mo yun, there are still some things as well that I haven't experienced at a young age. And ang daming mapapababa talaga din for me. Personally din, ang dami ko ring experiences na uh, ang bigat din for me, at dinadala ko pa rin hanggang ngayon. And yun, I'm also sending you virtual hugs. And with that, to our listeners as well who are feeling the same, I want you all to know that you're not alone. We're here for you, and if you want to talk, just let it out. This is really a safe space talaga for everyone to share who's whatever you're feeling, and if you're feeling the same, we're here. So yeah, with that, Kuya Justin.
Okay, with that, I guess we can move on to our next talking point na. Again, thank you guys so much for that. Very brave of you talaga. So, ayun. So, now that we've established that, considering na like, each parang block has their own parang subculture, parang may culture in itself yung each block. So, what were your experiences, na you had to adjust to a new set of people when you had to take subjects from other sections? How did it feel and all that?
Yeah, with me po, grabe yung culture shock. Kasi magkakaiba pong ages. And like, parang magically, na parang kahit isang taon lang yung pagitan, parang iba-iba talaga po yung personalities. So, it's already hard in itself na kailangan mo makipag-socialize in an online setting. And then idadagdag mo yung kakaibang mga personalities. Like, may mga iba na hindi talaga sila talkative, and like some people are very loud and like super extroverted. So hindi mo alam kung paano mo sasabayan both kinds of personalities and those people in the middle. Ako personally, when I came back from from my leave po, um, I felt very alone. And at the same time, parang pakiramdam ko, nandun pa rin yung ano, yung part na may struggle na sa kung ano yung kailangan mong i-face academically and then socially. Kasi medyo awkward din po ako. So, parang it feels very shocking and like um minsan ikaw yung may kailangan na mag-take ng initiative to reach out to them kasi parang ikaw yung nagpapang-abot sa kanila na ikaw yung kailangan mag-adjust sa kanila because most of them are magkakasama sila. And then like siguro yung pinaka-struggle ko with trying to communicate with them is like sasabihin nila sa'yo, kasi parang 'di ba 'pag nag-introduce po kayo, like sasabihin niyo yung age kasi yun yung mga basic information about you. Ay, tapos sabihin niya, "Oh, you're 20." And like, parang hindi naman discriminative na 20 ka na, tapos first year ka pa lang, parang gano'n, gano'n. Pero like, it's sometimes difficult din to explain to them na, the reason kasi why, hindi ako kasing bata niyo ngayon is because I had to go through this stuff. And then, um, parang may part sa'yo na parang, hindi ka natutuwa na hindi it doesn't feel natural to them na mas matanda ka sa kanila, gano'n. But at the same time, it's very challenging and that kind of challenge is something na, um, helps you rin na, how do I say this? Um Yung extra challenge gives you more growth. Kasi siyempre hindi lang naman tayo academically, mentally kailangan mag-adjust, kailangan emotionally and socially din. So I think na, um, kahit nakaka-culture shock siya, parang nagkakaroon ka ng bridge from your actual generation to the generation after you. And nakikita niyo kung saan kayo puwede mag-connect, and I think that's somehow beautiful din. Although, ayun merong mga rocky roads kasi siyempre hindi nga kayo gano'n katugma, pero it's also, magandang isipin na, um, nakikita mo kung saan kayo nagko-connect and saan puwede i-workout yung magiging relationship niyo with parang the people who are younger than you and older than you, parang gano'n po.
Sa'kin naman, first of all, siyempre pinakamahirap dun yung maghahanap ka ng schedule mo. Maghahanap ka ng block na sasamahan mo dun sa pag-aayos mo ng sked. Since, ayun nga, siyempre hindi naman lahat sa'min is, parang kumbaga kami na kasi gagawa ng sarili naming sked. 'Pag naging SWIS, ikaw na yung may hawak ng schedule mo, ikaw na yung gagawa, ikaw na mag-aasikaso lahat. So, ang pinakamahirap dun is yung sasama ka dun sa lower batch na parang, teka, baka ate na nila ako gano'n. Parang magkakaroon ka ng gano'ng isip na, ay, ate na nila ako, ano kaya mafe-feel nila ganyan. Or, syempre block nila yun kumbaga, pag enter nila ng college, parang family nila yun. Yun yung naging family nila simula nung first year. So, ano yung mafe-feel nila? Yun agad yung may isip mo. Ano yung mafe-feel nila pag sumali ka sa kanila, ganyan? Or ano yung magiging welcome ka ba nila? Magiging welcome ba sila sa thought na merong dadagdag sa kanila na hindi naman originally from them, ganyan. So, dun napapasok sa'yo. Tapos, sometimes, kailangan mo pang kumuha ng mga courses na hindi sa isang block lang. May ganun, 'di ba? Yung parang hindi kasi tutugma yung schedule mo. So, kailangan mo kumuha. Kunyari, ako, sa case ko before, parang kumuha ko ng schedule sa 1P6, tapos meron ako sa schedule sa original block ko, ganyan. So, parang ang hirap niya ayusin before. And then, nandun talaga yung matatakot ka kasi parang kahit alam mo na sa generation naman natin hindi naman tayo ganun mag-isip, pero nandun pa rin yung feeling mo, andun yung stigma na, teka, ireg yan eh, teka, SWIS yan eh. Parang nandun sa'yo yung, ano yung iisipin nila sa'yo, na pag humarap ka dun sa harap, tas nagpakilala ka, or sa setting natin ngayon, sa online setting, parang pag nag-open ka ng cam, uy, new face, ganyan. Ano yung mafe-feel nila sa'yo about you, or ano yung magiging impression nila sa'yo, ganyan. Yun yung, yun yung naging fear ko talaga. Yun yung parang naging, yun yung, yun yung naging nagkulong sa akin nung ano, nung first time ko na maging Swiss, na hindi ko talaga alam kung paano ko, ano kasi ako yung klase ng tao na parang machika ako sa lahat. Madaldal ako, ganyan. Talagang nung first year namin, kung sino-sino chinichika ko, sino-sino sinasamahan ko. Pero nung naging Swiss ako, parang feeling ko, mawa-welcome ba nila ako tulad ng pagka-welcome sa akin ng block section ko before. Dun yung takot sa akin. So, nun, tas, syempre parang, tapos meron pang mga cases na yung mga sa groupings, masasama ba nila ako sa groupings, tas ma-accommodate ba nila ako na maayos, or magiging open ba sila sa suggestions, ganyan, or mga, mga parang, yung mga ipipitch-ins mo na idea, magiging open ba sila, ganon. Parang doon yun talaga yung pinakatakot ko nung naging Swiss ako. Pero, yun, thankful ako kasi hindi rin siya ganon naging, hindi rin siya nangyari. Parang naging takot lang siya, pero thankful ako sa mga nasamahan kong block. Kasi sa totoo lang, nag-block hopping kami. Magkakaibigan na Swiss. Nag-block hopping kami. Parang meron kaming block na sinamahan sa bio. Tama. Tapos meron kaming sinamahan sa applied physics, ang naalala ko, meron din. Tapos, marami kaming sinamahan na block. Sabi namin, i-enjoy na lang natin to since andito na tayo eh. Why not i-enjoy na lang natin tong nangyayari ngayon na, na ganito yung situation natin. Parang kumbaga, para rin magkaroon tayo ng new friends or new environment, ganyan, since sasama nga kami sa iba-ibang department ng science. So, ayun, yun din yung isa sa naka-help sa amin nung nahihirapan kami na sa mga sections na sinasamahan namin. Pero, thankful talaga kasi naging very accommodating lahat ng section na nasamahan ko. Shout out sa kanila.
As for my experience, yung first ever section ko na different was from other college pa, faculty, sa Faculty of Arts and Letters. So, since I was adjusting my schedule to my advantage, I took up almost my GE already nung second year, and yeah, no second year pa lang. As in, inubos ko yung oras ko sa araw-araw to attend GE courses. So, I found a way na squeeze in ko lahat halos na nun sa schedule ko from 7 a.m. to 7 o'clock yung latest ko. 7 to 7. Tapos, yung one class ko na unang-una was sa Faculty of Arts and Letters. It wasn't easy. Bukod sa sinabi ni Isha and ni Paula na different yung camaraderie, yung rapport between people within the class. What more yung iba pang faculty or college, diba? Different yung culture natin talaga sa kanila, and different yung ways, ganon. Even pagpasok pa lang ng building nila is different na from ours. Diba? So, ayun. It was really challenging. Tapos, ang fun pa is math yung kinuha ko sa kanila. It was MMW. And I was really shocked kasi different yung approach nila sa MMW to ours. Like, my classmates were my home section were talking about the same topic, but their approach is different from the Faculty of Arts and Letters. Siyempre do'n magfo-focus yung MMW professor, 'di ba? Sa approach na applicable sa course na tinuturuan niya. So like, how am I gonna apply this to to my subject? So feel ko kasi yung yung ano nila, yung course nila, and I was like, chem ako, and I was like, I see more of logic and reasoning and I don't have it yet in my brain. Parang gano'n. Na parang, how is that possible? Gano'n. Parang sometimes contradicting yung culture, yung um, even yung the way the subject is taught. Pero eventually, I was able to develop friendship amongst them. So that was really, really a fun experience. Kasi yun nga, meron akong friends from other faculty. Sorry, excuse me. Naririnig mo yung cousin ko. Sorry. Wait lang. So ayun. So then that was my experience outside the College of Science as a SWIS. And I also took up a subject then. It was what was that? Hindi STS. Contemporary World sa Nutrition and Dietetics. So, sa EDUC building. So, muntikan ko lang malibot ang ang iba't ibang college. Pero ayun, different din sila dun. So, and there's nothing wrong with it. Pero yung culture shock nga na sinasabi namin was really, really shocking. So, it's really difficult to adjust at first. Pero as a Swiss, adjustment or adjusting would be one of your greatest asset then, which is something na I have developed and I am proud of then, being able to adopt to different environment, to different being able to go with other people, different types of personalities because of this event or turning point in my life. So, yun yung naging parang iniisip ko kasi whenever I face something na difficult, iniisip ko, how can I use this sa aking advantage? And yun yung parang point of view ko. Ay, baka kaya nilagay ako dito ni Lord because He wants me to be adaptable and very understanding with regards to other people's opinion, other people's environment, culture, and everything. And as for the last experience naman, which is yung within my course naman, and the same na yung culture na parang nasa BS Chem ako. And I never thought it would be difficult. Kasi I thought we would be able to know each other kasi same kami ng course. But the thing is, pandemic happened. So, I wasn't, well, all of us wasn't able to know our frosh during their first year. So, hindi gano'n ka-intimate or parang hindi gano'n ka-lalim yung naging relasyon natin with the freshmen during that transition sa pandemic. And sila yung naging kasama ko and kasama ko right now sa journey na meron po tayo papuntang graduating. So, at first it was really difficult pero ayun nga, kagaya ng every turning point, ginawa ko naman 'tong way to help them, not just myself. Na I made it to a point na sabi ko sa sarili ko, I have to help them adjust as well. Since I somehow know how to adjust already, I wanted to help them naman adjusting naman sa transition natin to online classes. So, kung may mga alam ako about tawag dito? About profs, the way they are, and yung mga do's and don'ts ng mga professors natin. I give them tips like that. Pero, pinaka naging struggle was yung fear of missing out, na sometimes hindi ka pa rin talaga well-informed with everything that is happening within the block. No matter how diligent and sobrang, industrious nilang mag-update sa inyo, still may mami-miss out ka pa rin. There are some decisions na magagawa yung block na yon without your, opinion, ganyan-ganyan. Dahil nga siyempre hindi ka kasama dun nga sa sinasabi ni Paula na parang original family or circle nila during freshie days nila, 'di ba? So ayun, sometimes magkakaroon ka ng missed, information, ganyan-ganyan, or minsan hindi mo alam paano sabay po yung ano ko, exam ko sa exam nila sa iba kong course, ganyan. So ayun, there are a lot of adjustments and, um, things na hindi mo aakalain you'd be able to overcome, pero I hope din na those na nakikinig sa'tin would be able to find a way to use that to your advantage.
I understand that it's very hard, and it's you might have these feelings of being alone, these feelings that you're isolated, these feelings that you're the only person going through these things. But again, I just want to remind you're if you need and talaga anyone to talk to about it, we're here, and I guess it's too cheesy to say na, oh, you're not alone, you know, and all that. But maybe just if you need a shoulder to lean on, because I understand that adjusting to it's very hard. The difficulty in the things that you have to go through, it's difficult talaga, and I understand those feelings, and communication as well, communicating with different people, uh, communicating with people who are not from your original block, your home block, communicating. For me personally, it's also I find it like I have to sometimes I also hesitate. I may seem like this, but I also hesitate with my words. I also overthink my words. I also siguro after siguro ng isang org meeting mag-iisip ako, tama ba tong sinabi ko? Tama ba tong baka I made them feel too harsh. I was maybe too harsh on it. I maybe baka may nabitaw akong salita na hindi okay sa isang ka-team ko, kasi sa isang ka-work ko. And I think about that hanggang matulog ako, honestly. And when I siguro approach those my blockmates naman, when I approach people on academic siguro, na inisip ko na, kailangan to ng tulong, kailangan mo nung, like, makes me feel weak. And I understand those feelings talaga. So, yun, siguro mahirap talaga maging overthinker, no? Hirap kapag, introvert, medyo magdadalawang isip ka sa mga bagay, mga behavior mo. You have to just, you're very conscious of yourself, and that's me.
Yeah, very much same sa'yo, Justin, na super introverted din ako. And I know that feeling na sinasabi yung anxiety na you're meeting new people again. Kasi personally for me, like, I don't want to initiate the conversation. I want someone else to approach me and initiate the conversation. For me, I don't like starting. So if they don't approach me, usually ako parang I just stay in the corner quietly, just being there, parang, hi, nandito ako, pero tahimik lang ako. I know that feeling. Ganyan din ako whenever I meet new people talaga. It's, yeah, as an introvert, it's, I think, part of us naman talaga, but hey, it's who we are.
And I understand if there are feelings na you feel scared, and you feel na there are some ideas that might not be accepted by other blocks, that when maybe during group work you suggest something up, and they might have second thoughts about you, and you baka, feeling mo na parang outsider. But, there are really people that you can always go back to and talk about it. And, letting things out siguro kasi is a way talaga to, talk about it. And after, for me, siguro, ang lakas ang gaan talaga sa feeling after mo mapag-usapan. Kaya, ang hirap din to feel those kinds of emotions, no?
Yeah, very
And,
true.
mm-mm.
Ay, meron ka pa ba?
Okay na.
And okay, pero yeah, very, okay. And very true din, Justin. Kasi ako din, very much overthinker. And yung feeling na parang intruder ka sa group is like, nakaano talaga yun na parang ayaw mo mag-speak kasi mamaya may mali pa masabi or they might judge you kasi bago ka. Pero, ayun, lalo na for Paula, la- lalo na for Paula, good thing na inalagaan ka ng mga block mo. So, shoutout sa kanila. Buti inalagaan ka. Kasi, personally, I've tried doing that din sa mga ireg sa block ko. Minsan, in-invite ko sila sa lunch or kinakausap ko sila. I check up on them minsan sa messenger. I try to make them feel like they belong there na parang, I try to make them feel like they belong there. Para hindi naman sila maano. Kasi, knowing din na parang, that feeling of isolation might, di ba, parang apektuhan na yung mental state mo. Baka, lalong ayaw mo na mag-push through with classes. Parang, I know it should be a reassuring thing na, you know that you have someone you can talk to in this new world, I guess, of the different section.
Yeah, and I just want to get this out there as well na it doesn't define you. It just because you have that label on you, it doesn't define you. It's you are who you are, and we're all same tayo lahat. Actually, we're all students.
Yeah.
We're all
In the science boat.
colleges. Science, College of Science, and lahat tayo, not to invalidate what you're going through, but I don't want you to think that this is ikaw lang to. You're more than that, and I want to also say na you're all very you're also strong to adjust kasi yung sinasabi nyo, and alam ko talaga ang hirap mag-adjust siguro kasi as someone who's also communicated then with this previously. It's I understand the difficulty, and yeah, like I said, it doesn't define you. You are who you are as a student in the College of Science and in the University of Santo Tomas, in the Philippines, and in the world, in the universe. Yeah, it just you are who you are, and I don't want anyone to go to have any feelings of you feel weak. I know that what you're going through, it really makes us talagang it's a validation of how strong you are na you're here right now, and you've also taken this decision to talk about it. And we're listening here to you right now, and to the people who are listening here right now. I want them to know that you're all very strong then, and thank you for that.
And I guess, shoutout sa mga blocks na iba. Yung mga blocks dyan na may ireg or SWIS dyan, sana inalagaan nyo din sila. Make them feel welcome. Don't make them feel like an intruder in your
Yeah,
section.
and also, di ba, no, having at other colleges as like yung ibang pupunta ka talaga ng ibang building. Grabe yun. Like, lalakad ka. Like, hindi ka papasok sa main building. Papasok ka siguro sa, ewan ko, sa Beato, or siguro sa, it's not familiar. It doesn't feel like home. And, iba na nga yung, iba na yung environment mo talaga. It's a big change. And also, talagang, Ate S, you mentioned na adjusting is your greatest asset. And I think that's very true talaga. And I understand din na there are lapses as well. Also, on our side, maybe that misinformation can be very hard. It's hard to get through things. You have to make that extra step on getting to know what are the ins and outs. Not a pun intended, but yeah, the you need to talagang take that extra step on getting to get through things. And it's difficult.
Yeah, and I guess, 'di ba, bright side natin, 'di ba, kay S. Bright side sa'yo, masasabi mo na explore mo ibang colleges. Yung mga ibang taga-science diyan, di
Actually,
yan
baka
na-experience, 'di
may
ba?
cute.
Oo, may mga
Nakakita
nakita
kong
kang ibang
cute.
tao. You
Ganon.
get to explore UST more.
Ah,
Mas nakikita mo yung ibang
oo.
sites ng US, yung mga ibang science, wala, ano lang sila,
Baka
main
may
building,
cute na
tas central
taga
lab.
ano. Oo, di ba? Medyo may I mean, medyo kita kits din doon. So, hi! It's me! So, yun lang naman. Like what Kuya Justin siguro said, exploration. So, yeah.
Ayun, so with hearing all your different stories na parang ang daming nangyayari talaga, and ano, so I guess marami din tayong mga problems to encounter and everything as you guys shared. So with that, what advice can you give to those who are new to being Swiss or irregular schedule nila?
For me po, dun po sa mga tao na parang bago pa lang po sa kanila yung pagiging Swiss, um, given na po kasi yun na madami po talagang magiging problem. I mean, ako po, hindi lang when it comes to ACADS or like within the classroom nagiging problem. I mean, pinag-uusapan nga din po namin ng best friend ko na um, one of the problems po na na-encounter namin as Swiss students is that hindi masyadong nabibigyan ng pansin yung mga Swiss students. Like, kunwari sa enrollment, yung nagiging, syempre ang pinaka-guidelines is para sa mga regular students, mga freshies, ganun-ganun. And like, mapapatanong ka na lang, paano yung mga guidelines ng mga ireg? Paano naman yung mga taong ireg? Yung kunyari, pag mayroong event sa school, paano pag na-take mo na siya nung time na ganito, ganyan? Do you still have to take it? I think ang pinaka-coping mechanism na pinaka ma well, I don't think it's a coping mechanism, but like thoughts na pinaka masasabi ko na makakatulong is that um learn to be thankful because um at some point in the past you thought na this wasn't for you or you had to take another path, but you're here and you're battling through. I think it's important for people to understand, or I think it's important na people realize na small wins are still wins. Kasi, minsan nandun tayo sa part na parang kino-compare natin yung buhay natin sa ibang tao, na bakit gano'n ang bata-bata niya pa or kaya bakit gano'n, ganito siya, bakit ako ganito lang, gano'n. Pero you see, 'pag tinignan mo from a wider perspective, if you try to look at it in another perspective, last year ako last year I wouldn't have thought na makakabalik pa ako ng klase. I didn't have the hope in myself na, um, babalik pa ako ng UST. Like inisip ko na, "Ay baka dito na lang ako locally, sa provincial university na lang ako baka hindi ko talaga kaya UST." Pero there will always be chances para sa'yo and kung para sa'yo talaga 'yan, kahit gaano katagal, you will work hard to be able to go for that. And I think na it's important to realize na our journey is different from other people and we have our different paces. And um if at one time in our lives a door closes, even if it closes for a very long time, like another door will always open for us. And I think na we should celebrate yung small openings na yun sa atin, and we should be thankful, and we should always grab it by the end and like grab it so hard and like um yun yung ganun na mindset, I think is pinaka masasabi ko na maybe it's something na we should work on. I mean, syempre iba-iba naman tayo ng pagkakaroon ng coping mechanism with what is happening with us academically, with what is happening with us emotionally. But whatever the situation that we are in right now, whether it's a good spot or or a bad spot, um, I'm not saying na pati yung mga bad things, it's what we deserve, or like it's meant to happen because it's part of life. But um, learn to appreciate whatever small thing you can get from it, and in celebrating those small things, may we be able to um take what we have and use it to build whatever we really want to build. So yun, enjoy the small wins, and um go at your own pace, and never forget na your opportunities are for you and they're there for a reason. And you should never ever invalidate na yourself or compare yourself to other people, na hindi porket mas mabagal ka, eh, hindi na para sa'yo, or kaya hindi mo kaya. Kasi kaya mo. Kailangan mo lang na paniwalaan yung sarili mo na kaya mo, because um it's one thing to know that you have the skill, but it's also another thing to believe na you can do it. And when you believe it, you'll do everything in your power to go for it and to overcome it. So, ayun.
Ayun, for me naman, first of all, siyempre, yung siguro gas-gas na line, pero never give up. Kasi mahirap talaga yung buhay, Swiss. Mahirap maging irregular kasi, 'di ba, like tulad ng sinasabi sa atin kada orientation pa lang, wag sikapin natin na wag maging irregular kasi mahihirapan kang mag-isa, which is true. But wag dun magsa-stop yung dream mo na makatapos as kunyari ako, makatapos na as a psychology, ganyan, psychology student, wag dun matapos yung dream mo na tapusin tong college mo na parang nilulugmok mo lang yung sarili mo na sad ka ganyan dahil sa mga nangyari sa'yo. No. But instead, gamitin mo to lahat ng nangyari sa'yo, gamitin mo yan as your strength, yung power mo, kumbaga, kung paano ka mag-move forward sa mga susunod pa na araw ng buhay mo at susunod pa na araw ng pag-aaral mo. Kasi hindi dun dapat matapos yung hindi dapat din matapos yung journey mo as a college student, as a student na meron kang mga gustong pangarap, meron kang siguro pagpasok mo ng university, meron kang mga goals and such, and feeling mo dahil Swiss ka, maraming natanggal sa yung opportunity. But I hope hindi ka dun matapos. Never give up kasi marami pang mga susunod na pagkakataon na makikita mo yung sarili mo na super nag-grow and super nagsha-shine dun sa mga path na pinili mo dahil pinili mong mag-move forward dun sa naranasan mo yun. And I remember yung sinasabi sa akin lagi ng youth leader ko na kung ano yung kahinaan mo, gawin mo siyang kalakasan mo. Parang sa situation mo ngayon, Swiss ka, irregular ka, hindi mo alam kung nasan ka nangangapa ka. Well, 'wag kang mag-stop diyan. 'Wag yung kahinaan mong 'yan, gamitin mo siya na bilang lakas para mag-move forward ka sa mga susunod pa. And naalala ko din yung sinabi ni Miss Candy Pangilinan nung umattend kami ng POPJA nung nakaraan, nung before paano may face to face. Sabi niya dun, nabanggit niya din dun sa isang talk kay Tony, sabi niya, yung three things na naging principle niya na rin sa buhay niya. Sabi niya dun, do not compare, do not compete, and do not conform. Sobrang naging ano yun, naging sobrang parang ang tawag dito, nag-fit siya sa lahat ng aspect ng buhay ko. Most especially sa pagiging Swiss ko. Kasi if magpatuloy ako na i-compare yung sarili ko sa iba, lalo na sa mga OG blockmates ko na ito na sila, nakakakita na sila ng graduation, congratulation post sa portal nila, ako ito pa rin ako. Then feeling ko hindi ako magmo-move forward and hindi ako mag-grow pag ginawa ko yun. Second is pag nagpatuloy ako na makipag-compete kahit sa sarili ko lang or parang nakikipag-compete ako sa mga tao sa paligid ko, then hindi ko makikita yung full potential na meron ako. And then third is do not conform na yes, maaaring nagmo-move forward na sila. Yes, maaaring nauuna na sila. But, 'di ba sabi nga, tulad ng sinabi ni Patricia kanina na meron tayo sari-sariling pace. So, wag mong, wag ka nang parang kumbaga, kung nauuna sila, then hayaan mo yung sarili mo na mag-grow kung nasan ka ngayon. Just be thankful, totoo yun. Be thankful sa lahat. Kasi itong meron ka ngayon, itong nararanasan mo ngayon, ngayong irregular ka, marami kang lesson na matututunan dyan, I promise. Marami akong natutunang lesson sa pagiging irregular ko. Natuto akong maging malakas, natuto akong maging independent. Natuto ko na nasabi ko na kaya ko pala kahit mag-isa ako. Kaya ko pala na kahit feeling ko merong stigma na nakadikit sa akin, sa pangalan ko or sa name ko or sa akin mismo. Natuto akong maging malakas na kaya kong i-prove yung sarili ko sa sarili ko na kaya ko pang maging better. And most especially, wag mong ipoprove yung sarili mo sa kahit kanino. Prove yung gawin mo yung best mo para sa sarili mo. Gawin mo yung best mo. Gawin mo yung kaya mo para sa sarili mo. Grow for yourself. Laging, wag mong hayaan na maging makaapekto yung sasabihin ng ibang tao sa kung sino ka ngayon. Kasi, you're beautiful. 'Di ba? Parang, kung ano ka ngayon, kung ano yung pinagdadaanan mo ngayon, pagdating sa future, tatawanan mo na lang yan and magiging masaya ka na lang kasi na-overcome mo lahat yan. So, ayun. And don't don't forget na kasama mo ang Lord sa lahat ng ginagawa mo. So, yun lang po.
Ayan. So, for me naman, I totally agree with Isha and Paula na though it's easier said than done, and it's easier it isn't easy to hear such a things na parang kaya mo yan, ganyan, ganyan, when it feels like everything is falling apart. Isn't it isn't easy to take those all of the encouraging words and inspirational talks and everything when it feels like hindi naman siya naaayon sa kung ano nangyayari sa ngayon. But eventually, it will. So, at this moment na if you feel like you can't take all those things yet, take your time to take it all in na yung nararamdaman mo, yung yung pressure and everything, um, you may have your own pace na, you process everything that is happening to you. It is really important for me, I guess, na, to have your own time to process the different things, the changes that is happening to you. And to think about yourself and what are the things that you're going to do after this. It is okay to take your time in processing all of it. And then after that, you may apply what we have all said. Then after that processing na meron ka with what is happening with all the changes that you're going through. It's not easy at first talaga. It won't be easy. Taking everything in and processing it. Pero once you get through it, everything will follow. And there are things that I wrote for this segment. And it would be first, eventually I hope na you will be able to find the good in what's happening to you. And then after that, I hope that you'll be able to find the right and the healthy set of people that you're gonna work with. Kasi for me, especially in college, it is really important that you're in a circle that is healthy for you. And it will really manifest with your outlook, with your progress, with your achievements, your small wins and the big ones. And of course, sa dulo, it is with them you're gonna celebrate with sa lahat ng mga achievements and especially sa graduation and everything and even sa life. I hope you'll be able to find those people and because for me, I am really blessed that I have a lot of friends na masasabi ko na hindi lang sa org ko makakasama, hindi ko lang makakasama tuwing magka-cram kami ng paper, but also when it comes to talking about how you're feeling and how you are, your health and that is something na pinaka nakatulong sa akin as a Swiss is the good and healthy set of people na meron ako right now. Lastly, it is okay to pause, but never ever stop. It's okay to take a break. It's okay to um take a while doing something that you really love or doing a task. It's alright. But I hope you don't stop doing what you love and giving up on it. Because just what I always say to the people na um, I work with in the and organizations and the people na I try to mentor somehow is that things happen for a reason and yun nga, I'm a firm believer that everything works for good and that you're here because you're meant to be here. So yeah, so everything that has happened constitutes to where you are right now. So let's trust the process nga, di ba? So ayun, yun lang naman.
I guess the biggest takeaway talaga is, yun nga, everyone has their own experiences and everyone takes their own different paces talaga. As I would say, yun nga, college is not a competition. It doesn't have to be. It's more like you taking just a leisurely walk to museum, taking your time and taking your time in each exhibit na ano, no one's forcing you na mag-move out naman agad eh. Pero ayun, everyone has different rates talaga, different learning rates talaga, and different experiences. Perseverance is ano talaga. Perseverance is another parang, I guess, big thing for you guys. So, congrats dun sa perseverance niya talaga and the hope that you see sa ano dito, sa mga nangyari sa'yo. We all have different coping mechanisms then.
Yeah, and I understand now we all really need someone to talk to, and also wherever we are now, yeah, like trust the process, no? And since siguro na I understand as well na there was a part that we were in during this conversation we were talking about how Swiss hindi masyadong nabibigyan ng pansin and super talagang that stroke that struck pero it took that struck something in me as someone siguro who communicate with Swiss directly who has previously communicated with Swiss and it really it told me something na we need to do something about this. We need to make a plan on this and we need to really kailangan talaga siyang tutukan. And a big part of that is really information and dissemination of how we're going to maybe maximize these channels more, how we can make ourselves available more to everyone And I guess with internal relations, these are where these are the people we can talk to about any college concerns, about any way siguro we can get through yun nga, enrollment, and more than enrollment, how to talk to professors, how do we approach professors, how do we approach our department chairs, how do we take our courses, how do we fill in our load, how we fill out some forms. These are what these this is what IR is for, and we really dedicate ourselves talaga to it. And with this, we feel na we need to do better. So yeah, and I also yeah, and
Yeah, with
with
that,
that siguro.
i-plug ko din, I
Mm-mm.
guess, we're trying to build a website nga eh. So, with the websites that we're trying to do, so we have a specific section there for SWIS students where lahat ng mga guidelines nandun. We're trying to collate it to one page. So, at least mag-guide kayo talaga. May dedicated pages for SWIS students na your processes, yung mga kailangan mo i-download, downloadables, how to approach, ano din. Yun nga, nandun yung guidelines. Pero if you need someone to talk to or mas gusto nyo, yun nga, Team IR is also there.
Yeah, and I just want to comment on the current system. It's very hard. It's very difficult. It makes it very difficult. And if there's some way that we can change actually the system, we do it. We'd really do it. We'd really plan it. And I maybe for for what we go through, really there's inside what we go through there are small wins, small baby steps, and there are different paths that we really undertake. And with that, I hope we still reward ourselves even after every hard day. Eat some ice cream, ganon. Watch Netflix. Yeah, ganon lang, di ba? And iba-iba talagang ways to get through it. And, use these talagang experiences as your strength. And from what Ate Paula mentioned, there's growth. There's so many lessons that you learn, and it doesn't end here. We may feel weak, but there's ayun, cheesy line ulit, but there's a light at every tunnel. Oh my god, sorry, ang dami kong pinaplug na cheesy quotes, but yeah, it's the truth, rainbow at the end of every rain.
Pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
Tumblr quotes, no? So yeah, also siguro as a Christian myself, I I also want to say na ang laking bagay na yung pag-pray, ang laking bagay na kahit siguro pag wala ka na talagang someone to turn to, he's here. Yun, di ba? Ang laking feeling din na you go to church, and you pray about it, sama-sama kayo, and when you're gathered kasi in the name of the Lord, in two or three people are there, nandyan talaga siya. And you can feel talaga His presence, and talagang, yeah, someone's still there for you in the end.
I guess yun din, to add more cheesiness na, nga, as Paula said na, nga, some opportunities may close, maybe new ones will open naman. And, we'll get there eventually. We're just all taking different paths. We all get to the end goal naman.
Yeah. So, at the same time, siguro with all these cheesy quotes, it's not easy to take positive words then all the time kasi parang, ito na naman, you'll get through it, kaya mo yan. Sometimes, you just need someone talaga to listen to you and sit down, kahit tatahimik lang sila. Ang laking bagay na makinig sila like sincerely and genuinely. Ang laking bagay na talaga. And siguro, kasi pag paulit-ulit yung positive words na yun, parang white noise na lang, no? Parang, ayoko na marinig to. Oo, parang porket okay sa'yo, kaya mo akong sabihin na mga ganito. Ganun, it rubs off the wrong way. So, it's better sometimes to just listen and say some things like, I understand what you're going through, I hear you, and if there's anything you need me for, and I'm always here talaga, and those kinds of words. It really lifts up a person, and everything that everyone that has said, everyone talaga that you've said here, it feels very uplifting for the listeners, and it's big. It's good advice talaga to everyone. Yeah, great talagang mga things na na-share you. These are tips on how to get through talaga these things. Pero ayun, talagang, there are sometimes talaga you just need someone to talk to about it.
I guess to add na din na ano nga, uh, ano ba? Yeah, as someone who's not that parang good then with words, or I know that I really wanna comfort you guys and take care of you. Pero yeah, as someone who's not good with words, medyo nagiging cliche yung mga sinasabi ko. Pero I guess parang nandun pa rin yung idea at least na nandun na pa support. And usually, I would like to give them a hug per with the current circumstance.
Oh, also, siguro, we keep on talking about support. So, siguro, we had the previous episode of Patnubay at Gabay, which was for lifers. And we talked about the solid support system, friends talaga for life. And, talking about it kahit sometimes pa-joke lang, it's something na nalalabas mo din at the point. Natawanan nyo na lang talaga. And yun, trust the process with your friends talaga you all go through it as a friend group, as a solid siguro support system talaga. So yeah. And I just wanna say talaga na it's really gives me so much hope then as like how we're going through these things but we're talking about it right now.
So, hopefully, yung mga Swiss listeners natin and audience out there na nanonood din, hopefully, nag-guide kayo sa mga sinasabi ng guests natin. So, with that, what's one misconception that you want to debunk? And what's one thing that you want everyone else to know?
Para sa akin, one thing na need po i-debunk about Swiss students is that pag naging irregular student ka, it means na bumagsak ka. But truth be told, there are a lot of reasons kung bakit nagiging irregular student ka, and hindi lang siya basta dahil bumagsak ka. And I think it's also important to let people know na when you're an irregular student, it's not always a negative thing. Na sometimes, gaya nga ng sinabi ko kanina, it's important to go at your own pace. And sometimes, yung pagiging irregular student is our way para i-regain yung sarili natin emotionally and mentally para mas maging able tayo to give our full potential as students. And there's nothing wrong about that. There's nothing wrong about being an irregular student. And I hope na if you are in a situation where you feel like kailangan mo muna mag-take a step back from everything that is happening in your life, if you need to take a step back from your ACADS, or like if nagkaroon ka man ng failure doon, it's not something na you should be ashamed about. It's something that you should work on so that you'll be able to be better the next time, and you'll be able to share it to other people then how you were able to overcome it. And I think na it's something na every Swiss student can share to everybody. So yun po.
Ayun, for me naman po, para sa akin, we should break the stigma na kapag Swiss ka or pag irregular student ka, it means tulad din ng sinabi kanina na, 'di ba, bumagsak ka nga ganyan, but it doesn't mean na you're not, kumbaga, kung papagandahin natin yung word, you're not intelligent enough para gawin or ma-overcome yung mga challenges dito sa college life mo. Sometimes, merong story, 'di ba? Meron laging story behind every picture. Laging merong story behind every um situations na nangyayari. So, you can't just judge a person porket nalaman mong erect siya or porket nalaman mo na, oh, umulit siya, ganyan. No, kasi laging laging papasok dun yung kailangan mo mag-dig in na ano ba yung nangyari sa kanya, ano ba yung naging struggles niya, ano ba yung naging adjustments niya para lang ma-overcome 'to or para lang makatawid dito sa pinagdadaanan niya na 'to. Kasi sometimes merong mga hindi tayo pare-pareho ng story, 'di ba, na hindi pare-pareho yung story na pinagdadaanan natin. And sometimes, yung mga stories na yun yung mga malaking factor kung bakit nagkakaroon ng ganitong twist sa buhay natin, 'di ba? So ayun, I hope na lalo na sa generation natin, magkaroon tayo ng mas malawak na kaisipan na when it comes to irregular students, it doesn't mean na ganito na agad siya or sometimes nagbulakbol siya. No, hindi siya ganon, 'di ba? Sometimes kailangan mo pa silang unawain ng mas malalim pa. And 'pag nakita mo yung story behind their that journey, malalaman mo kung ano yung napagdaanan nila at in-overcome nila and how beautiful their story is, 'di ba po? So ayun lang. I hope sa'tin talaga, sa generation natin, magkaroon pa tayo ng pagkakaunawaan sa isa't isa at sa mga susunod pa na hindi lang ito yung hindi lang when you say hindi lang yun yung tuldok sa nangyayari sa buhay ng isang tao. Mas malawak pa at mas malalim pa yung pinagmumulan ng mga bagay na yun. Yun lang po.
For me naman, the, for me, the, misconception na I want to debunk sa ideya ng pagiging isang SWIS would be dahil yung thought na, dahil kaka-org mo yan, dahil ang dami ka kasi masyadong org, mag-focus ka sa pag-aaral mo kaya ka bumabagsak, eh. Gano'n na na thought towards SWIS na 'pag SWIS ka tapos related ka with or affiliated ka with different organizations, dun na nila nire-relate lahat nung rason bakit ka naging isang SWIS. Whereas for me, my organizations has been the circle that I was talking about na have served as a safe space for me, as a place wherein I can freely, talk to people, um, nabanggit din namin na hindi maiiwasan na mafe-feel mo mag-isa ka, but within these organizations that I've worked with, dun ko naramdaman na hindi ako mag-isa. So, hindi lahat, I mean, hindi pa talaga lahat, and it isn't only because, and it is not really because of organizations kung bakit kami SWIS. For those na merong BS org nga ang tawag, it is not because of that. Because organizations, especially stu because student organizations, prioritize academic life over org life. That's our goal, to be a student first before becoming a leader. That is one of our greatest, um, sorry. That's one of the um things that we tell every StuCor, student coordinator, or juniors pa lang, freshie pa lang, we reiterate na we are a student first before becoming a leader. So, organization is not the cause of being a SWIS, and there's nothing bad about being a SWIS. Hindi ka ereg ka lang, hindi ka Swiss lang. For me, the S in the SWIS is being strong. Being strong enough to adapt to changes, strong enough to hear those words na parang, kasi yung strong enough to hear those assumptions na hindi naman totoo, those misconceptions that we've told you and others na hindi namin share right now. That's one thing na gusto kong iwanan din sa students, not just for the students of College of Science, but other people from outside of the college and even hindi na college students for mga parents or ates and kuyas na different yung view with regards to being a student with irregular schedule. Um, Being a Swiss is not a weakness, but rather an opportunity to grow and to be a better person. And I feel like being a Swiss has become an asset to all of the Swiss na students. I mean, being a Swiss has become an asset to all of us. Thank you.
So, unfortunately, things must always come to an end. So, yeah, I guess this is our last question, no, Kuya Justin? So, with that, can I ask, what is your biggest takeaway in this particular experience in college and your parting message to our listeners?
For me po, it's very short kung ano po yung pinaka-takeaway, but I think it's a big thing to realize. Um, Life isn't perfect, and life is full of ups and downs. Minsan mas madami talaga yung downs kaysa dun sa ups. But I think na with given those circumstances na madami talagang bad things na pwede mangyari sa'yo, um, it's important na you take care of yourself and that you should realize na a lot of things around you are going to stand in your way. And I hope, kasi ito yung naging realization ko na may mga bagay na nga sa paligid mo na they're already blocking you from reaching your dreams. So, don't be one of those people. You should be yung ikaw dapat yung pinakauna mong hype man. Ikaw dapat yung pinakaunang naniniwala sa'yo. And I think na it starts within you na ipakita mo sa buong mundo, well, sa ibang tao na um, if within yourself you really believe na meron kang maibubuga or meron kang maibibigay na mai-offer mo na purpose, um, it will resonate with other people. It will reverberate in the depths of their hearts na you will be able to inspire them. And I think that's very powerful. And in addition sa sinabi ni Ate Justin kanina, I just realized na as a person na as a Christian po, um, it's important to realize na Jeremiah 29:11, God has plans for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. And lagi mong tatandaan, and kahit naman hindi ka, alam mo yun, iba namang religion, like, you always have to realize that there is a bigger plan for you. There is a wonderful plan for you set out for your life, and you should always trust that, and you should always run towards that. And in your journey, um I'm sure na kung ano man yung pinagdaanan mo or pagdadaanan mo, you will be able to touch other people's lives. And I think na that is one of the things na kailangan mong ilagay sa sarili mo na it's not just only for yourself, but it's also for other people. And what you do for yourself rather is something that you do for other people. So don't ever, don't you ever, parang sobrang, parang napaka-intimidating. Don't ever, think of yourself as any less than what you really are, because you're always going to be so much more. Kasi who you are before um is yung kung ano man yung ikaw ngayon is an addition to who you were before, and you're always better. So ayun po. Always remember na um there's an amazing plan for you, and that um do not forget to be kinder to yourself and to take care of yourself na um you wouldn't be I to the point na you'd realize na you don't have to stand in your way because yun, yung ikaw yung pinaka-hype man mo. Ikaw yung pinaka magmo-motivate sa sarili mo. And when you do that, you share it with other people.
So, ayun po. For me naman po, I remember yung sinabi sa akin ng friend ko before nang nagsa-struggle ako sa sa situation ko. Sabi niya sa akin, "College is not about passing. It's about surpassing yourself." Nasabi ko, "Yeah, ang college hindi siya race na nakikipag-unahan ka sa lahat. No, it's not. It's about who you are and kung paano mo matatapos 'tong 'tong journey na 'to ng ikaw pa rin at mas marami ka pang natutunan." And agree din ako dun sa sinabi ni S kanina na trust the process. Trust the process lang kasi small progress is still progress. Na kahit kaano minsan, um, kaano ka nakikita mo yung sarili mo na parang ang liliit ng steps na nagagawa mo. But still, lahat ng yan, nagkakaroon yun ng malaking impact pag pinagsama-sama mo. And makikita mo na pag pinagsama-sama mo siya, magkakaroon yun ng big result in the future. And tulad din ng sinabi ni Patricia kanina na Jeremiah, 'di ba, 29:11, God is always with you. Just trust Him. Alam ng Lord kung ano yung pinagdadaanan mo. Alam ng Lord yung mga cries ng heart mo every night, ganyan, na minsan tutulala ka na lang, minsan feeling mo wala nang hope, wala nang pag-asa, or feeling mo hindi mo na kayang mag-go on sa mga susunod pa na araw kasi pagod na pagod ka na. It's okay not to be okay. Take some rest, and then after nun, laban ulit. I hope hindi matapos yung journey mo sa pagiging irreg lang. Sana, I hope na, I know it's hard kasi I've been there. Naranasan ko na lahat ng ng sinasabi ko ngayon, and it's not easy na magpatuloy lalo na pag feeling mo ikaw na lang. Pero habang nagpapatuloy ka sa journey mo, believe me, makakakilala ka ng mga tao na magsusupport sa'yo. Magpapadala ang Lord ng mga instrument para ma-feel mo na you're not alone in this battle, in this journey, na meron at meron kang makakasama. And together, hand in hand, together with the Lord, mau-overcome niyo lahat ng nangyayari ngayon. And sabi ko nga kanina, darating yung point ng buhay niyo na tatawanan niyo na lang kung ano yung nangyayari ngayon. Na parang pagdating niyo sa future, tapos maglo-look back ka kung ano yung mga nangyari during your college years, matatawa ka na lang na, uy, nandun pala tayo before. Na, uy, napagdaanan pala natin to. But look at us now. Ito na tayo. Naging mas malakas tayo sa kung ano tayo before. Just trust the process, just trust yourself and trust God. Hindi ka niya iiwan, hindi ka niya pababayaan. And I also do believe na kaya mo yan. Ano man yung pinagdadaanan mo ngayon, ano man yung secret battles mo, or yung pinagdadaanan mo also sa family mo, sa health mo, sa mental health mo, kaya mo yan. And tulad ng sinasabi nila Justine kanina, nandito lang kami for you. Nandito lang ang buong science for you. You are more than welcome na magsabi ng kahit anong gusto mong sabihin. Nandito lang kami para sa'yo. Together, kakayanin natin to. So, ayan lang po.
Okay. So my takeaway for this journey or experience of being a Swiss student would be first to prioritize your health, yourself, and your learning process. It is okay to take time on how you're gonna learn, how you're gonna process the changes that you're gonna face. It's okay to take it at your own pace. Next would be to appreciate the progress that you have made after. Tahimik siya kanina talaga, promise. Ayan. second would be okay. So second would be appreciating or learning to appreciate your progress, even the short one or the big one. I mean, small one or the big ones. So, and it's okay to look back and see how you've gone through and how you have been. It's really okay to look back at those moments na it was really, really sad and frustrating. But look at where you are right now. And even though that some of us would be facing different struggles, um, you have surpassed a lot of those already. So, um, I believe na you would be able to surpass this as well. Kasi nga 'di ba lagi din sinasabi sa atin na sinasabi nga din sa atin na these things are not given to you because you ano? Sorry nawala. Anyway, so ayun. So after the appreciation of your progress and of your achievements, the last thing that I would take away, my last takeaway for this journey would be there's so much more in store for you, and that we won't stop at that idea of being Swiss ka lang or ireg lang ako, and failure is not something you should be ashamed of. It is something that you should learn from. So use it as a guiding step or another platform to reach for your goals. Ayan. Being a Swiss for me is advantageous if you'd be able to surpass all the hard parts and appreciate the perks and the if you're going to be able to appreciate the perks of being a Swiss. Thank you.
So, yan. Yan. Thank you, S. Talagang inspiring talaga ng mga messages na natin, mga guests natin. Yeah, sana our viewers, sana madami natuto yung viewers natin sa podcast na to. Hearing all your stories, na it's really enlightening na you can see how varied each experience is. Yung, as I said earlier, being Swiss is just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more that happens behind the scenes of why that happens. So yun and yun nga, I guess I commend you guys for your perseverance and strength talaga for pushing through and keeping your studies then.
Yeah, and if I may, just cite Ate Paula, 2021, et al. So, mga ganun. So, she said, college is not about passing. It's about surpassing yourself. So, it's just true naman talaga eh. You know, maybe yun nga, baka nakaka-caught up din tayo masyado on academics. You forget to know that to remember that college is a big part of your personal growth. You learn things, you take things little by little. These little steps really do make a big impact. And I guess, everything that we've really been through, it's all different. And, all the hardships talaga that every day na binubugbog tayo, there's really talaga, again, another, it's not also power of positivity pa rin. At good light, siguro, these are the experiences that really bring out the best in you na siguro binigay sa akin to ni Lord kasi He knows that I can take these challenges. Na He knows na I'm a strong person at this will make me stronger in the end. Mga ganun. So, Yun nga, if I will siguro talk about my own learning in communicating with everyone here as well, it's that it really opened my mind in more knowing more about what really people go through, na there are really different perspectives, and mahirap actually, I guess, for everyone, mahirap mag-grasp din na ito pala, no, ito pala, it really opens your mind then, and it requires siguro na we can talk about these things safely, and you can also talk about these things with someone you trust. So I thank you as well for trusting us and talking about this, and to our viewers as well, that you can really open this up to them. So yeah.
Yeah, I guess to add then another thing to quote, I think it was Isha yung sabi na, you're always a better version of yourself. Regardless on how much you think of a failure you are, you still are better than you were, I guess, yesterday or the day before that. And that really struck me as, nga naman, that's true naman talaga. And also, to iterate yung kay S, same din, I feel na yung sinasabi mo kanina sa guidance counselors na talk to them, yeah, malaking tulong din yun. Parang, they're there to listen din naman and not to judge you. So, another parang support system sila. And, yeah, ako din, as I've started talking to guidance din, and malaking parang light din ng mood din after nakausap mo sila. So, it's also another nice thing. So, ayun. So, that's it for our podcast today. Thank you so much for our guests, Isha, Paula, and S. It was really nice hearing all your different perspectives on being a Swiss and all the experiences that you've had. Talaga. It was really enlightening.
Yeah, it really was. And all throughout that podcast, we were really immersed well, maybe not as immersed, kasi sabi nga ni Kuya Justin na ang daming iba't iba. There are different reasons why. And but this really gave us a personal in-depth talagang talk on with people who really have that experience. So with that, we'd also siguro like to thank our audience who are listening, and yeah, syempre dahil sinabaybayan nyo rin kami sa podcast namin, hopefully you were able to also gain and share your experiences on you will also maybe if you will talk with someone as well, share these experiences with our community in the College of Science.
And to plug then, don't forget to watch our next episode on this series. So it's gonna be talking about ano naman, life outside of college. So we're gonna talk to some of the students who have graduated na and their experiences after college naman. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, and before we end, since we talked about SWIS ins and outs in this episode, I just want to also share with everyone that the College of Science Student Council's channels are open for everyone to talk to. Specifically, the Office of the Vice President is handling team internal relations, and we usually talk to Swiss students. We handle their concerns, we talk to them, and we if for anything that you want to talk to us about, even if it's not a college concern, if you just want to talk something out of that, you can always approach us, and we'll always welcome you in, as I always say, as a safe space. And I believe that everyone in team internal relations, in also in team students rights and welfare, right, from the office of the president, from the College of Science Student Council, they are also handling concerns and grievances as well, and any suggestions that you might have, we're all always open, and we'll also be happy to help. Happy to serve, Jollibee, ganon.
Di ba SM yun?
So yeah, SM pala yun. Happy to serve. Oo, SM nga pala. Naalala ko yung ringtone ng SM. Yeah. So ano yung Jollibee?
Meron ba silang slogan?
Bida ang saya.
Bida ang sarap!
Saya.
Bida ang sarap!
Saya. Bida ang saya.
Bida ang saya.
Gutom na.
Litong-lito na. Okay, so SM, happy to serve. So with that, I think that ends our episode for today. Swiss ins and outs. Once again, I'm Justin, or your J1 for today, reminding you guys to stay safe and take care of yourselves.
And I'm Justin too, or you can call me J2, I guess. Reminding you guys to be kind, not just to others, but also yourself. So keep safe. Thank you, everyone, and I hope you have a great day or night, depending on when you're watching or listening.
That's right.